Welcome to WASP 3D Designer. In this tutorial, we'll explore how to adjust timeline zoom and use filtering inside track view for better control in your design workflow. WASP 3D Designer has a very adaptive timeline. Here timeline is called track view. You can open track view anytime by pressing F7 on your keyboard. Track view displays only the animatable properties of your scene and is divided into 3 areas. The main timeline, where all nodes, objects, material, lights, camera, and their animation tracks are listed. The filtering panel, where you can narrow the view by objects, tracks, or categories. And the keyframe information area, where you can review and manage the details of each keyframe. Filtering the timeline or track view setup is especially useful when you're working on large templates with multiple objects, materials, lights, and cameras, because it helps you focus only on what matters. Timeline zooming is quick and intuitive. Hold Shift and scroll your mouse wheel. Scroll up to zoom in and see individual frames, or scroll down to zoom out and view the entire timeline. You can also use the plus and minus keys on the numeric keypad to zoom in and out. Track view can be further customized from the Preferences panel, which you can open with Ctrl plus Shift plus P. In the Preferences, go to the Track View section where you'll find options that can be set as default. If you want objects in track view to be shown as both selected and animated, then check both options. In the Track section, select All to show all tracks or Animated to show only animated ones. To show both nodes and tracks, enable both checkboxes. You can also set the number of maximum frames. For example, if you set 1000 frames, Designer will always open with a 1000 frame timeline, which you can later adjust manually. In the Interface section, you can define how your mouse controls the track view. Panning can be done using the right mouse button or by pressing the middle mouse button. You can also set whether the scroll wheel scrolls up and down or zooms in and out of the timeline. You can also set the playhead to move directly to a selected keyframe by holding Ctrl, Alt, or Shift while clicking on it. Once you save these changes, track view will respond according to your preferences. Open a name band template. This template contains objects like BGBox, name text, and text mat, with BGBox mat and text mat as materials. There's also a text group which includes the name text. Open track view and look at filtering in detail. In the object filtering panel you'll find 3 options. Filter by animated objects, by selected objects, or by name search. If you filter by animated objects, only nodes that contain animation, such as BGBox, text group, and name text, will appear. You see the text group because its child, the name text, is animated. Non-animated items like the text mat won't be visible. You won't see materials, lights, or cameras in track view even if they're in the scene. But by deselecting the animated checkbox, you can display all objects together in track view. Uncheck animated object and enable selected object. First deselect everything and you'll see an empty track view. Now select BGBox in the hierarchy, and its parameters will appear. Select BGBox mat in the material editor, and its parameters will appear as well. You can even select multiple objects, materials, lights, or cameras together, and their tracks will all be displayed at once. Now, uncheck the selected checkbox, and you'll see all objects appear again in the track view. Finally, you can quickly isolate any node by typing its name into the search box. In Track Filtering panel, if you choose All, Track View will display every animatable property of the selected nodes, whether animated or not. For example, selecting BGBox will show all of its parameters. If you switch to Animated, only the properties that are already animated will be visible. You can also search for any animatable parameter by typing its name in the search box. If All is selected, you'll see that parameter wherever it exists across nodes. If Animated is selected, only the animated parameters matching your search will be shown. For example, typing width will display only the width track of BGBox, because it's the only object with that parameter. On the Show Category filtering area, you'll notice 2 checkboxes, Node and Track. If you uncheck Node, the node categories are hidden and everything appears under a single header called Default. If you uncheck Track, the transform and parametric headers are removed, and all parameters are listed directly under the object name. You can also manually adjust the max frames box to control the visible range of your timeline. For example, if your animation is just 35 frames, you can reduce maximum frames to 250, which is the minimum allowed. This compresses the timeline, letting you work more closely and precisely. You can also use shortcuts. Ctrl plus Shift plus H fits all frames into view. Ctrl plus H minimizes the track view so that the last keyframe of any object is in frame. And Ctrl plus Shift plus O fits the timeline to 100 frames around the current time head. Also, by holding Ctrl and single-clicking on a keyframe, you can instantly move the time head to that selected keyframe. And that's it. You've just learned how to control zoom, filters, and frame range inside TrackView. Thanks for watching, and keep designing smarter with WASP 3D.